YouTube, what's going on, man? Y'all gotta forgive me, I'm up here chewing on this dum-dum. But yeah, we gonna get right in this thing. I still ain't come up with my thumbnails yet, I'm working on them. Like I said, we gonna keep it raw. And just watch the evolution, man, watch it grow. I love to see like real life, you know, especially in a time where like life is not as real as we are allowing it to be. So it's always a blessing to, you know, witness real life. You know what I mean? Let's take that off real quick. Exit all this stuff. Yeah, man. So I love to like see real life. So, you know. But so that's why I'm just like, I ain't got a thumbnail yet. We in the spot, you know what I mean? I'm in a little studio in front of the house. And yeah, man. It's wild, bro. Wow. So, a lot of what I've been wanting to talk about has been top of the dome topics because I feel like they hit the hardest for me, and I like to see how other people feel about them. Because it's just, you know, things that I think about randomly throughout the day. Hence why it's called top of the dome topics. But this top of the dome topic I got today is it's pretty much, well, it's derived from a look conversation I had with one of the homies a couple of days ago, and we was talking about priorities, man, and you know, being able to really see where your priorities line up in your life, you know, and it's levels, you know, it's levels to it. It's levels to the priorities that you have, because when you live in your life, you'll look back and the things that are really naturally prioritized, as in like out of your control, as in your body prioritizing them for you, like food, priority, like you gotta eat, you know, drinking, so liquids, water, gotta drink, sleep, you gotta sleep. So I think those are biologically set in our lives to make sure those things are there. Whether we put them number 1, 2, and 3, or whatever order you decide to put them in, that's our choice. And I think once you start using that as the metric of where you need to prioritize your life, then you can kind of say, like, am I really meeting this metric of making sure that I have food, sleep, and hydration, water, whatever? And then anything after that is kind of like, all right, what we got going. But we don't really think about that as much because our body does it for us. So it's like, oh, I'm hungry, let's go get it. So instead of already thinking like, I want to eat, today I'm making food a priority. Like, most of us don't make food a priority. We make eating a priority, but we don't make food a priority. There's a big difference. You know, for example, to me, to say if somebody made food a priority, they will already have an idea of the foods that they would know that they would want to eat on a daily basis because they're pretty much consistent with their diet. So it's not like I have to know what I want to make for the week, let's write it down. It's more like, my diet includes this. As long as it's this, I can have this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it don't matter. So that's making food a priority instead of making eating a priority biologically, because it's like, oh, it's time to eat now. I've been starving all day. And then most likely, if you've been starving all day, you're doing it out of scarcity and you're doing it out of urgency. So you're not really going to pick the best choices. You know, if you're already working the clock and you're just going and going and going, me, I'm different. I'm not going to go into mines. I might skip meals. I might do what they call it, intermittent fasting. I might go on a vegan cleanse. I'll go from being 190 to 170, 175 to 185. Like mine fluctuate because I've been at this for a long time. But like for the average person, when you're living the hustle and bustle, the day to day, or not even the hustle and bustle, you might be somebody who work from home and could be considered lazy, and you call yourself lazy. You know that you would rather take the easy way. Even for those people, they still are most likely aren't making food a priority. They're making eating a priority when it's biologically coming to the forefront of their mind and the decision that they need to make at that time. So I say that to say, like, there are certain things in our lives that are already biologically set in us to be a priority. If we can use those things as the main, like I said, metrics to start off our lives and our days with, then we can kind of line everything else up, because you know that everything outside of that is going to take some conscious decision making. Like even deciding to make food a priority and not eating takes a conscious decision making, but you have that backing, like I said, of the biological clock within you to say, oh, it's time to do it, it's time to do it. That's like you have a biological clock in your body when it's time to eat, when it's time to drink, when it's time to sleep. So biology does most of the work for you, so it's like most likely they ain't gonna pay attention to it. But what about the things where biology really doesn't play as much of assistance? For instance, like how you treat your hair, how you treat your skin, how you treat your feet, your legs, your body, your back. Like I was having a conversation with my partner. I was like, man, I don't know people's lives, but I know there's people who like skip out on really lotioning their body. Let's get real. You got folks skipping out on really lotioning their bodies. Ankles be ashy, heel be crusty, ashy. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even say I've been with girls and, you know what I'm saying, had sexual partners or dated girls that were like that, because I wouldn't tolerate it. You know what I mean? Ain't no telling I'm gonna know what a girl's feet look like after a while, but if I do see it, I'm gonna say something about it, whether I see it the same night and we keep messing around or we don't. But it's like, why have your feet in nice shoes if your feet are nasty? If they're like, if the skin that sits inside of your sock is gross, why even care about the sock and then the shoe that it sits on? And then even worse, you're like, okay, you got nice shoelaces on nice shoes on nice socks, and then you go down to the surface and it's like your ankles are nasty and you have crusty toenails. Like, okay, cool, that's a pedicure. Maybe you can't afford a pedicure, but you can still take care of yourself, you know? And I think that you have to be conscious to make that a priority. So that's where this whole conversation that I'm talking about at the top of the dome topic came from, because it's like, we really don't line up our priorities as much as we think we do. We do it on an external, superficial, what's in front of me, what you see is what you think you get manner, you know? And I don't think that's long term. I don't think that's the most beneficial way, and this is all my opinion. I think it's better to nip it in the bud, go to the root cause of the problems. That's just naturally the type of dude I am anyway. So I really try to take priority in making a lineup of the things that matter the most on that level. So it's like saying, okay, if you're gonna have a nice bed, make sure your sheets is nice. Make sure your sheets are clean. You know, and all those things are little details. It's like those are the little small details that people won't recognize. You know, you'll go out there and you'll want to be able to like be all in people's faces, but you won't spend money on high quality toothpaste, you know, or have a health budget to where, okay, cool, health insurance is crazy all over the world, especially America. Capitalism, great, it works, but we still have so much work to do when it comes to healthcare in this country. But like, you won't even make sure that you you won't even qualify to make sure that you have quality toothpaste, quality lotion. Like those are the little things, quality toilet paper. Like, and it'd be weird because you'll be in the hood and folks you know, have all this other stuff, and niggas be drinking and smoking and don't have quality toilet paper, don't have quality toothpaste, don't have quality hand soap. May not even have no hand soap, using dish detergent to wash their hands, you know, like. And this is 2022, so y'all know what I mean, put my age out there. Like, I was aware and well during the 90s, so let me just put it out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, the whole woke mob, nigga, y'all niggas is late. we've been woke. I've been woke since the 90s, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, running the streets. So that was somewhat acceptable because we wasn't conscious enough as a culture then. And even people, this isn't about black people, this is just about people in general, but I'm talking more pertaining to the cultures and like minorities, black people and people of color, you know, of being able to say, these are the priorities we need. So you go back to looking at it, you have the car, you have the car before you had the crib, you know, you get the shoes before you get the car. You go to the club, riding the bus. You know, you like everybody carpooling to go to the club. You know, it's just so many things that just, it really reveals where people put their priorities. And that's what made me think, like, if you're gonna live your life, please prioritize your life from the inside out. That's it. If I can say it in short, like I said, I try to make mine really small, really short, to the point in the beginning of these audio visual engagements. Prioritize your life from the inside out. You know, you can start from not even having you can start from not necessarily saying you're gonna work on like all the deep stuff, how I think about life. And man, of course, that's what I'm saying. But if you wanna be superficial and not even talk about like the deep stuff and the metaphysics involved in growth and personal development and self-mastery, then at least start off on like the superficial of like, hey, I want to make sure I have this before I have this. Like, you know, before I put a whole bunch of rings on my finger and I got like $5,000 gold ring, make sure my nails are clean. You know what I'm saying? Like little stuff like that. Like that matters. Like your hands are your hands. You put all this stuff on top of your hands, but you don't take care of the hands of themselves. That never made sense to me. Like that's just me personally. I've never understood niggas who had rings with dirty nails and dirty hands. I know it exists. I'm not like looking at niggas' hands when I walk around, but it's just I see it without even having to see it because I'm like, we out here. You know what I'm saying? So it never made sense to me, bro. Like it never made sense. And I think it starts off from like people not really understanding where the work needs to be applied to first, which is internally, which is below the surface. So that was my top of the dome topic for today on Words with Waters. Write to you rich. Write to you wealthy, read to you rich, excuse me. Yeah, man, it blows me, bro. It really, really blows me to the point where I'm just like, geez, bro, y'all really don't even care about yourself like that. I'm trying to tell you, I'll meet females, no disrespect, like fuck it, I don't even care what it is, but like I'll meet females and girls would like, how you going to the club and your inside of your car messy as hell? That means you need to slow down. That means you need to stop doing so much. If your car is junky in the inside, then you need to slow down. You know, you got too much going on. Because you can always tell somebody's mind by the way their environment is. You know, and let's just keep it on a healthy level, because there are so many different clinical illnesses and pathological mental diseases that are there that still have cleanliness involved with the disease that a person may have, like OCD and all of that stuff. Let's just say that a person who is mentally healthy and not to the point to where they're doing certain stuff because it's causing certain mental illnesses. You can tell a person's mental health and wellness based off of how they keep their environment up. And like I said, let's just keep the whole OCD thing out and say, oh, that's not healthy, you need a therapist, you're doing it for a reason, or she. But most of the time when somebody is peaceful in their mind, you can read this. I got books for days that talk about this from people who are PhDs and all these Harvard graduates and Yale. Most of the time when people's minds are clean and their minds are not cluttered, their environments are representations of that. And it's how it goes. I mean, it is what it is and how it goes. So I say that to say, start from within when it comes to what you prioritize your life. Please don't get the Jordans if you know there's other stuff that you need to be doing with the money. Don't get certain stuff. Just don't get it. I mean, your mind is your mind. Your arm cannot move unless there's something that's physically wrong with you. You cannot lift your hand up without making your mind do it. You cannot lift, like my hand is on my desk right now. I cannot lift my hand up without my mind telling my hand to move. That's how the creator, God, source, whatever you want to call it, had designed it. And I don't think we use our minds or stay conscious enough, conscientious enough to create the worlds that we really, really want. We just create what's available by default and the lack of work we want to put in and laziness. Or once again, us being lazy. So we just do whatever our bodies biologically prioritize for us so we don't have to do it. You know, so man, I feel like y'all got the point of what I'm talking about, man. I don't want to keep going in circles and all of that, but yeah, definitely. That was on my heart, man. I got more coming. We're going to get bigger and better. Like I said, I can do 3, 4, 5 of these a day, but I really stay conscious of letting things soak in, and we ramping right now, as they would say. So appreciate y'all, man. Words by Waters on all platforms. WORDSBYWATERS. This is the Words with Water audio engagement. Read to you are rich and write to you are wealthy. And remember to write your world into existence.